Hello, welcome back to the Sam Matt Antics Podcast.
We are back. This is episode 68 of this amazing little baby that we have here, Matt Dyer. We are getting closer to, as you alluded to just before we actually came on the camera.
Hey,
We're getting close to the big one, or the big ones. Episode 69 is next.
Can't wait. I think that should be our smuttiest podcast ever.
Oh yeah,
sure.
It's not gonna be
100%.
hello and welcome back to the Sam Matt Antics Podcast. It's gonna be hello and welcome back to the smuttiest sexual podcast you've ever listened to in your life.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good one. That's for sure, Sakura. Apologies, I'm moving my camera as we're recording. I do sincerely apologise. But yeah, it's been a while. Stop laughing. It's been a while because, Sakura, we've been ill again.
We have been ill again. This is very true.
Yeah.
We just can't seem to keep healthy, Matt Dyer.
Nope.
We must be the illest.
It's a
podcast.
reoccurring theme between the two of us. I had another cold. Well, I say another. I had flu the first time. But I thought it was COVID again. But alas, it was not. But I was awful for many, many days.
Mm. Yeah, I am actually in the midst of a potential COVID scare, Matt Dyer. I haven't actually told you this yet.
Well, you've not told me this. Oh my God!
Someone in my
What's
office
cracking on?
has literally today fallen ill with the deaded Rona, and therefore I am going to need to test.
We are in trouble.
Yeah. But Matt Dyer,
anyway, let's not get bogged down
with deadly. Who may have a deadly disease and who may not? Okay. How are you doing this week?
Yeah.
How have you been this week?
Oh, lordy, Segura. This week or just since we last recorded?
The last month. How have you been?
Shit. Yes. Well, I mean, it's not been the greatest month. But Segura, I'm off to Bruges tomorrow.
Bruges? What are you actually doing in Bruges?
I cannot say on the podcast.
Okay.
Well, I can
tell me off camera. But
yes. But yes, I'm going to Bruges. It's going to be. That makes it sound like a really dodgy thing now.
It does,
said
yeah.
I cannot say. I'm going to import Class A drugs.
I'm going to see a man about a dog.
You know that. You know that scene in Only Fools and Horses where they put the pallet of beer on the truck.
Yeah.
That's going to be me. That's me. Yeah. In fact, I'm going to take a Polar Pal HQ lorry and I'm going to load it with cheap beer. And obviously, we've got fridges in the vehicles, so we'll keep it cool.
I'm seeing only positives here. As long as you can siphon some of that money towards the Sam Matt Antics funds, I'll be greatly appreciated.
What is the Sam Matt Antics funds on now? This is a year and a half after we started.
It's on 0.01. It's a penny. Because you know what they say?
Oh, we've accumulated a penny, have we?
Yeah, we're in for a penny and out many pounds. So
in for a pound. Fair enough, Sakura. Fair enough.
But yeah, it sounds exciting though.
Anyway,
going to Belgium, going abroad.
Yep. Sorry, just sorting out my slight receding hairline there. There we go.
To be honest, it's like a little flick. I thought, Zac Efron has entered the building.
The forehead,
like High School Musical era, you know.
The forehead now is so big you could land planes on it. If Gatwick had a fire scare, we could land it on that guy's face.
Mate,
just saying.
Now you've brought it up, we need to talk about something. It's not your hairline. Glenn in the group
Gatwick
chat.
Airport?
In the group chat, Glenn has just rinsed your hairline for the last 2 weeks. Non-stop.
And I don't know why.
I don't know what happened.
Because it's usually us two that's bullying him. And now the tables have turned and I'm not a big fan of it.
Honestly, I don't know where you brought it up from, where you got it from. It's been hilarious. I mean, I've enjoyed every last second of it. But no, it's just you just like say something and they'd be like, yeah, but I remember when your hairline was way more forward than it is now. And like it would just say, yeah, but I remember where you didn't look bald from a certain angle. And it's just hilarious comments, but
it's, yeah, he's
it's a lot.
He's really not messy about at the moment, is he, special guest Glenn?
No, the gloves are off, but enough about Glenn. Prick. Matt Dyer.
Hello.
How does it feel to have the world's most receded hairline imaginable?
Well, I don't, because you haven't seen my brother's hairline. He keeps it long to hide. I know he is. What's your point?
When are you next seeing him? Can you just get him to like pull his fringe back, then take a photo?
No, he refuses to do it.
Is it that bad?
He generally refuses. Is that bad?
JB.
Yeah. Anyway, Sakura, let's stop. Let's not get bogged down about Matt Dyer's hairline.
Mm-hmm.
I've got something we've not done on this podcast before for you this week.
Not asked
and
about
it all
how I am.
Stems from a conversation I had at work. Oh, sorry. It's been a while, hasn't it? Sorry. Sakura, how the devil have you been?
Hello, welcome back to the Matt and Matt podcast. It's the Matt Antics Podcast.
The Matt Dyer Podcast. Oh, sorry, Sakura. How have you been this week?
Fine. Well, since I last actually spoke to you properly, I've been ill. I've not been allowed to go into the office. I have been to Manchester. I have been to Bristol. I've spent my days...
Been to Home Bargains?
Obviously, I've been to Home Bargains. That's just absolutely my place to be.
It's like saying, Matt Dyer, have you been to the Bengal Spice recently?
Oh, don't talk to me about Bengal Spice. Yeah, it's been quite weird because I've not been able to actually see people because obviously I've been trying to recover and get better, and I've just been locked away in my flat. It's been quite strange, but I think I've also not really spoken to people, as in like over Messenger and stuff. But like the people that I have been talking to, obviously have been like, obviously it makes me happy and stuff to be talking to them. So yeah, it's been a weird few weeks, Matt Dyer, and a few days, but there is one thing that made me so happy. And I want to cast your mind back to season 1, episode 2.1.
What, of our podcast?
Of our podcast, yes. It was a little episode called Finding Matt a Match.
Oh, sorry. I thought it was the disaster child we were talking about. Yes.
That was episode 2.
Finding
we had to
Matt
have
a match.
We had to add a 0.1 to it to give a bit of extra to say sorry to people. And it
which was only our second episode.
But it came to fruition.
Finding Matt a match.
Mm-hmm. Got a match, and I was very happy. I was like, "This is my life's goal has been sort of achieved."
Yeah, but I have had matches before. It hasn't taken me a year and a half to get a match.
Oh,
they just
did a lot better than I thought it was.
They just never fucking
message.
Bumble, honestly, is just ridiculous. It's girls message first. No, they don't.
No,
they just do not.
Yeah. No, I feel your pain
But
there.
anyway,
I do
that's a
feel your
whole
pain.
different ball game.
Online dating is another ball game that we're not getting into because we will get too angry about it.
No. Yes. Anyway, I did get a match. I did talk to said person, and now I'm not. So there we go.
Check back in season 3 to see if he has a girlfriend.
It's highly doubtful. Anyway, so Grover.
Let's not get bogged down with who's got a girlfriend, who hasn't got a girlfriend. What we're going to talk to each other about is what we've apparently never was done before on this podcast. So let's go.
Okay, so Grover. I was in the office, as I always am, at the Polar House HQ.
Yeah.
And I've had someone join me, a couple of people join me in the office this week, which has been lovely. And I get on both of them really well. Anyway, so the one of my colleagues started telling me a story, and I can't recall the story fully, so you have to apologise on that. But the bare necessities of it is that my colleague had a friend that had to go to hospital to have something done. Anyway, but that's not the problem. Okay. Anyway, she was put on a ward, and someone visiting somebody in the bed next to her started talking to this lady.
Right.
And you know how it is. Like, if you're in a hospital, you don't want to be talking to people. You know, you're there for a problem, or you're there to visit someone with a problem. Unwell. Yeah. The last thing you want to do is socialise.
And also, don't forget, a key part of that is people. Just full stop. Just people. They're the problem.
Yeah, people in general. Human beings, Segura. The human race. Anyway, so this guy is just talking to the lady. And anyway, so I don't know how it happens, but the conversation starts going around to how much he loves drawing and art and particularly drawing portraits, which is fine. You know, we're all creative in different ways. I'm creative with music. I'm creative with music. Some people are creative with art and things like that. Anyway, so the guy says, "Do you mind if I just do you a quick portrait?" So she was like, "Oh, well, yeah, okay."
Quick anyway. Portrait.
So go up. I'm going to send you the picture on the Discord.
Oh God.
This is a portrait of John Lennon, and this guy, remember, he's really into his art. Really, really loves it. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, obviously, at this point, we're all expecting this to be. Sorry, I'm trying to do two things at once. Trying to send this to you, Segro. We're all expecting it to be. Well, I'll tell you what, Segro. I'm just going to send it to you.
Okay. As when you're saying this, I'm expecting this to be.
We're going to have
a good portrait.
Yep. This is an older gentleman, obviously been around art all his life, and this is John Lennon. So, for people at home, this is Sam's genuine reaction. I haven't showed him this in advance. This is generally going to be his reaction. So, are you ready?
Yeah.
On its way.
Okay. Here we go. Loading now.
That's John Lennon, so Grover.
Fuck me. That's that's not.
I'm going to edit the picture into. I'm going to edit this picture into the video podcast over the weekend, so people watching this will be able to see it.
I'm not sure we can show this on the podcast. In all seriousness, I don't think we can show this on the podcast because the eyes are a particular shape. The nose protrudes from the eyes in a very, very specific way and curves at the end. And the mouth is... there's another way to say this, Matt. The mouth and the lips are shaped in a way that is very lippy in a different area. What I'm saying is, next week's podcast.
My goddaughter and friend of the podcast,
Yeah.
my goddaughter, Ruby could draw this better, and she is 2 in May.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm a little bit shocked.
It's quite something, isn't it?
It's something, but it's also very much
I
nothing.
tell you, it's a very... I mean, we're not art people by any stretch of the imagination, really, are we? Well, there's no really about it. I'm not. All right, are you an art person?
I don't draw, but I like art. I love Vincent van Gogh. I love him.
Oh yeah. I'm saying, there are artists that I like. However, let's dissect this quickly, okay?
Do we have to dissect
Red
this
pen
particular? Oh yeah. Yeah, but I've worked it out, Matt. I've worked it out.
This particular picture. Okay, go on.
Yeah, it is red pen, but you see the dashes of like the blue pen like spludged around it. He's drawn this in 3D.
Yes.
He's 3D, old school 3D, where you had one eye that was blue and one eye that was red, and you look at something and then it like is 3D.
Can't even read his name at the top. He signed it as his name, but I don't know what his... Can't see his name.
I think his name is Fanna, but with a PH. Or it's... Depending on how you read it.
I thought of a very controversial thing to say, Sakura, and I can't say it on the podcast, so I'm going to send it to you in chat.
Okay. I've got a feeling I'm going to read this out on the podcast, though.
No, you're not. You're definitely not. There you go. So let me see.
Wait, that's it. Just read out my username.
So
that's
no.
Fine too.
Hang on. Oh, sorry, I pressed the wrong button and Steam's come up now. Hang on. There you go.
I'm not reading that out. That's very, very unlikely.
No, of course you're not.
You expect that from me, not from you. That was very naughty. But you're not wrong.
Naughty. So anyway, this got me thinking, Segura, because I don't really know art very well. So I thought, I'm going to try and find the most expensive artwork that has been sold that is the most trashiest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Okay.
So I've got a few examples here, Segura, which I will send to you now for your reaction.
Okay.
Oh no, that's me. Hang on. Okay, here's the first one, Segura. So,
okay.
Disregarding the text underneath it, if you could describe this.
That is an animal running towards a cave, I think, maybe. But they seem to have a hook for the back legs and 2 million.
It's sold for $2 million. That's the kind of doodle I draw when I'm in a meeting at work.
That's actually on the inside of caves in France. It's ridiculous. 2 million.
Second to last one, Segura. This one, you thought 2 million was bad, okay? This is apparently a very famous one. Now, I'm sorry. This is a square of purple with a line down the middle. And it sold for $43.8 million. $43.8 million.
So just for it's a square. It's a square that's been painted like a bluey purple, and it's dark around the edges and gets lighter towards the middle, and it's a white line going vertically through the center of it. Now, I've seen enough TikToks, right, to know how this happens. You put a bit of tape in the middle, and you paint and paint and paint, and then you pull the tape off. However, Madar, if you would kindly zoom in to the white line, Ruby could colour in. It's not even on the line.
The paint hasn't even...
No, it's not a firm line. The guy has gone over the line border, and it's sold for $43.8 million.
$43.8 million for something that looks like the start of the Scottish flag, but they just gave up halfway.
Yeah, it is.
No, not Scotland. But I mean, that's basically what it is. Second, last one for you. This is not on the level of 43.8 million. This is much less. However, this piece of art, you may recognise it. This, Segura, for the audience, is a banana that is gaffer taped to a wall. It is not even, it's not drawn.
Oh my God.
It's a physical banana that's been gaffer taped to a wall. And it sold for £120,000. $120,000, sorry.
Why?
A banana that's been duct taped to a wall. I don't care what the fuck it is. It's 120 grand for a banana.
It's a lot, mate. I'm not going to lie. I'm a little bit speechless, to be honest. You can't even eat the banana.
No, because it's been gaffer taped to the wall.
Well, I think what we're saying is there needs to be a helpline set up for this sort of thing for people that think they want to buy these sorts of things. So if you are someone of the art community that is looking to buy a stupid piece of artwork, and you need to just verify it and just call an operator to check. If you call 07123 635 891, that's 07123 fuck me, what are you doing with your life? Do not purchase stupid items for obscene amounts of money.
Shall I call that number now, Segura?
It's not my number or anyone's number I know. So give it a call and just say you're looking to buy an art piece for $120,000.
Yeah. So there we go, Segura. I need to put my phone back on charge. I am not an artist. I am not that keen on art. I don't really understand it, and I know it's all about how the artist. I don't understand it. I'm an artist of music, and some of those photos is like I've just gone up to a piano, pressed 4 keys at the same time, and then sold that as a record for millions of pounds.
Yeah, it is particularly awful. It is particularly awful.
Yeah. Anyway, that's enough about art. So, Robert, over to you. What have you got for us this week?
I just can't believe that it's taken us 68 episodes. Yeah, 68. Yeah, yep. 68 episodes plus some specials to get to a point where we are sophisticated enough to be speaking about art.
Yeah, I'm not sure anyone's going to be calling us for our art advice anytime soon, are they?
Well, they've got the number to call, haven't they? So this week, moving on, but this week, I've got one thing that I saw. It's not an Angry Man Reviews, but it sort of is. It's I was walking. Oh no, I wasn't. Yeah, I was walking off the train, and I was at a connection while I was traveling, and I sat down on a bench, just waiting for the next train to come, and the train that I just got off had just departed the station. And I look in front of me to the bench on the opposite platform, and I see the most heinous crime to humanity. Heinous.
Oh.
Crime to humanity. I was subject and witness to a man sitting on the bench and a woman straddling the man in a full makeout session, tongues everywhere, hands moving, the most heinous act. And I just want to talk about it, Matt. I need to talk about it. You and I, we have some strong views on, people in general. However, when it comes, exactly. But when it comes to public displays of affection in relationships, I feel like there's a line, and you toe the line. However, when it comes to that level, in that much of a public place, it is disgusting.
Disgusting.
So, where's the line for you? Is my question.
I am all for if they're leaving their partner, maybe they're going their separate ways for the day or something.
Oh, okay, sorry.
A nice, not that they've stopped seeing each other. The odd smooch, for example. That's absolutely fine. Nothing wrong with that. Hand holding, very acceptable.
Yeah.
Oh. Penis holding is not acceptable. That's not acceptable in public. I'm just saying. Okay. Equally, you don't walk down the street with your hand on your missus's boob.
Yeah,
that's not a thing. We don't allow that. Look, I get it. Some people in love with people differently to how others are with other people. Okay.
Yeah.
For me, I wouldn't in a public place as much as a train station, for example. I wouldn't be like what you've described, Sakura, but basically all over each other. Because, as we very well know, I would be at the end of the platform spotting trains.
You would. And stood next to you would be Francis. And we wouldn't be able to tell the difference between the two.
Of course. No, exactly that. Exactly. Francis has got a YouTube channel now, Sakura.
He's got a missus.
Yeah. What are you trying to say? Train spotters aren't cool? That's the end of the Sam Matt Antics Podcast. We are never coming back.
Well, join us next week for the Matt Antics Podcast.
Live from Leighton Buzzard train station.
With special guest Francis.
We're going to class 350. Anyway. Yeah, what are your views, Sakura? Since this is something you obviously brought up.
Well, if you're going to do PDA in front of people to that extent, just don't be surprised if they gouge their own eyes out, because it is honestly horrendous. It's the most disgusting thing. Like, okay, I've got off a train and I've been walking to leave the station, and I've walked past couples embracing, kissing, saying goodbye or saying hello. That is acceptable. It feels like rubbing salt in the wounds of a single man, but I embrace their like, I don't know, display of their affection sort of thing. And
they're obviously passionate about each other.
Yeah, exactly. Like they've missed each other, blah, blah, blah. That's absolutely fine.
Passion in life is great, you know? We're all passionate about different things. What I see a lot, for example, are particularly young people, I have to say, young drunk people is especially the case, with their tongues down each other's throats. I don't need to see that. I do not need to see that. You basically might as well start undressing at that point.
Just please don't.
You know? It depends, you know? Free adult entertainment, you know what I mean?
Get out of the old GoPro.
I mean, hey! Sorry! Anyway, I'm all for it in the sense of, you know, just don't
showing
go
the
overboard.
affection. Yeah, I think the line is definitely like holding hands, hugging, kissing in public is fine. A full blown like cowgirl riding makeout session is probably best kept behind doors. It's just
the question everyone wants to know, Segura.
Yeah.
Question everyone wants to know. Obviously, you were on a bench opposite them watching this. Did you stay seated on the bench watching?
No, I walked as far away. I sat in a bike shelter to avoid having to witness that.
Oh, see, I'd just sit there and be like, "Oh, go on, lad, go!
Give a one for me."
Oh God! Oh, sometimes you just got to love life, don't you? Honestly,
it's just people. I think is the issue. It's painful to. I don't know. I think it's just because it goes back to that thing about holding other people to like your standards and stuff. And I know you can't do that, but I just feel like this isn't me holding this to like my own standards. This is just general life standards. Don't sit at
this is the thing.
station.
You got to remember that different people behave differently. For example, if I was eating a sandwich from a supermarket and I finished the sandwich, I would then put the rubbish of the paper thing it comes in the bin. Some people, they just throw it on the floor.
And deserves to get in it, the bin. Yeah.
You know, it's things like that. If I go into a shop to buy something, I pay for it. Some people, they just fucking walk out.
This is true.
You know?
Some people, for example, buy
just
I don't know, cherry Pepsi, for example, and other people have standards. So buy a lime Diet Coke. It's just you can't hold the people to standards. You know,
don't even try it. We've done a poll and you lost. Okay.
Yeah.
Just accept that Pepsi Max Cherry is superior to fucking Coke Lime. I mean, what kind of paedophile? I'm sorry.
Whoa! Let's take a step back here. The Sam boys are on a bender. Matty Dyer called Sam a sex offender. Jesus Christ.
Sorry, I'm pretty sure in the group chat you've called me a sexual predator for, you know, simple things like that. Anyway, sorry. My camera's gone out of focus again. I shouldn't have called you a pedophile. Oh, come on. Hang on. Apologies, everyone.
Now who's the sex offender? Fuck off.
I apologise for that previous outburst, Agorov. It was
you let
not
the intrusive thoughts win.
How
just let them win.
It wasn't in line with how Sam Matt Antics Podcast likes to behave. And I, for one, as technical creative director, would like to apologise to the social media director who has done no social media posting in the last year. Thank you.
Why are you sending shots? Why are you... Sorry, this is going to become the Matt Dyer Antics podcast because Sam Cropper's going to leave.
It's got very heated very quickly and not for the reasons that you were discussing.
There's no PDA here. It's just hate. Is what it is. It's not affection.
It's hatred.
It's PDH.
Oh,
that's what it
dear.
is.
GBH, yeah, it will be.
Public displays of hatred, Matt.
There we go. So yeah, is that it? Is that what we got time for?
I'm not sure we can come back from you calling me a paedophile if I'm being completely honest. It's
in the description of this video this week. Sam and Matt discuss art and public of affection, and Matt calls Sam a paedophile. So there we go.
So, I expect a public apology from you, Matt Dyer, where you don't turn it into a shot at me. I would quite enjoy seeing you grovel with apologies towards your co-director of the Samma brand, and of course, there is one thing else that we need to clarify: is nobody relating to the Sam Matt Antics podcast, the other podcasts that we support, are more of a anti-paedophilic than Sam Cropper and Matt Dyer of the Sam Matt Antics podcast. So, what in brief, what I'm saying is, if you're a paedophile, we're not your allies. Pick a different podcast.
We're going to get demonetized on YouTube now because of this.
And who's to blame?
Thanks very much for watching and listening.
Don't know, Jeff.
Week,
has there?
It's been a bit of a... Don't know, Jeff. It's a bit of a shorter episode this week, purely because it's... at this current moment, it's 1937. The time, not the date. And I need to go to bed because I'm getting up at 3 a.m. to go to Bruges. Yeah. So, anyway,
good night.
Here's Sagroba with the with the social media because I've forgotten them.
Of course. So you can follow us on Instagram at Sam Matt Antics. You can follow us on TikTok, which is also at Sam Matt Antics. You can go to our Facebook page, which is the Sam Matt Antics Podcast. You can go to our Twitter, which is Samma_pod. You can go to Twitch, which has nothing on it, which is Samma_pod as well. You can even go to our YouTube and watch the Sam Matt Antics Podcast in video format. And that is, just search Sam Matt Antics Podcast. It pulls up the page. Or if you, like Matt Dyer, are born in the 1900s, you can send us an email, which is samanticspodcast@gmail.com.
I'm pretty sure if you just put into YouTube... Why is that not working? Oh, maybe it's not. Okay, maybe that doesn't work. I thought if you just put youtube.com/Samma_podcast, it does come up, but I can't remember if that was the exact thing. Yeah, if you type in Sam Matt Antics Podcast to the search thing in YouTube, it's the first thing that comes up. So that's saying something.
There you go. And all
10 subscribers now, Zagora.
All that's left to say is we will chat to you next week, and Matt's going to leave the country swiftly.